Hello, everybody. Wait a minute. I don't know why that's my thumbnail. That's not supposed to be my thumbnail. What the heck? I'm going to send out some links, get the chat pulled up, and then I will be right here. How's everybody tonight? I finally have power again. Conspiracies. I'm dead. Okay, let me grab the link. Like when I'm super squinting, that's when I'm trying to see to do things on the computer. Can't see you guys yet. I'm getting ready to pull up the chat, I promise. I'm going to get the link sent out. Sassy's going to come on. I'm not sure if anybody else is. I got to check Twitter and see. All right, Sass has the link. Let's see if anybody else wanted one. I'll just put the link in there. Anybody want that? Okay, now for the chat. Oh my God, there's a million people. Okay, sorry guys. I have to get the chat pulled up. What the heck? Oh, it's frozen. Am I frozen? No, I'm moving. I'm fine. Hang on. Let me see if I can get the chat now. My computer wanted to update and I told it, nope, not right now, motherfucker. But now it's not letting me get my chat. Let me reset it. I think it'll let me now because it's working.
Hi.
Hi, honey. How are you? You scared
me? I'm doing good.
I don't have Hangouts up. I'm great. I'm so much better than I have been. I don't even have the chat pulled up yet.
I didn't use my lips logo.
Let me see. Oh, I love that. Okay. Now I got the chat pulled up. Finally,
everyone in the chat is able to see what I look like.
Yay! Okay. Hey, let me start from the bottom to the top because I didn't see anybody yet. Hey, Texas Farmhouse. Hey, IBL. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Tammy. Sassy. Anna. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Elizabeth. Texas. I already said that. And Tammy, my television just went off if you all heard that in the background. Hey, Mimi. Humble Wings. Love the hair. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Strawberry Wine. How are you? Hooking not paying well tonight. That's funny. Hey, Crystal.
Hi, Jenna. Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Jenna.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi, hon. How are y'all?
Good. Have you been having a good summer?
For the most part.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Doughboy.
Thank you.
Smart.
Excuse me. Block him.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Hey,
Don't
now
make me
look.
throw my Pop-Tarts at you.
I've been having a bad week. You have to be nice to me. Hey, Ash.
I
am being nice to you.
Oh, you're true.
That's how you know I love you.
What have y'all been doing this weekend?
So I have been going to the river and stuff like that. But Steph, you were without power?
For 3 days.
Hi, everybody in the chat.
So here, I'll tell the story about what happened. What happened is I don't remember exactly what day. It's what, Saturday now, right? So I think it was Wednesday morning. I could be wrong. I could be getting the days mixed up. But anyways, I got up and I was going to go do laundry, and I turned the washing machine on, and it's going fine, and it goes for a few minutes, and then the breaker just like kicks off. But not only does the breaker kick off, the breaker for the washer, the lights all go off, but no other. Hey, Dr. Koala. Hey, Metallic. No other breakers kick. So the lights just like go dim, dim, off. Then they come back, like start coming back on, like dim, 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 and then they come back on. Then they go off again, like all day long. Well, finally that evening, or sometime later on that day, Mitchell's like, try the washing machine again. Because, it was July 4th. I know it was July 4th. I am on live chat. Thank you. It was July 4th because we called them all day long. Nothing. Didn't hear from them. Whatever. She said her phone was off, but whatever. Because, we have a landlord because we rent. So we call them all day. Don't hear anything. Well, we left the house, of course, because we knew it was going to get hot or whatever. And whenever we got home, we're like, well, let's try the washing machine again because we kicked the thing back on. The lights were on at that time. The air conditioner never started working again. The air conditioner never came back on. And whenever we got home, we turned the washing machine back on. Boom. Like nothing worked. And what happened was the outside breaker, the main breaker outside, like fried. I don't know what happened. Hey, Amanda. Do you want a link? Hey, Eric. Hey, anybody I missed? I'm sure I missed people. Hey, Paige. But anyways, it like fried the main breaker outside. So we called the power company because they finally, when the people call us back, they're like, well, maybe it's a power issue. And we're like, no, it's not a power issue, but okay, we'll call them. So we called the power company, and the power company told us, go check the main breaker. And we go to see if we can flip it back on, and it won't even flip back on. Hey, Donna. So like the main power breaker is broken. So there's like nothing we can do about it, right? So they said the next day, that was way late at night when they finally got back to us on the 4th. Then they said the next day they would come fix it. The next day they came, the electrician came, and he was coming back and forth, measuring the box, saying that he had to call the power company, blah, blah, blah. Well, then our landlord texted us, and he was like that he said that it's a big problem, right? We're like, oh my God. But the big problem was he doesn't speak English very well, right? So there's like a language barrier, but the big problem was that they couldn't get the part that they needed to fix it that day locally. So then we had to wait another day for them to get the part in. I don't know if that's really what happened, but that's what they told us. The next day, they came back, then another electrician had to come in. And what he told us was that it was a problem for a long time because our wiring is like, our building's pretty old, and it was like a problem for a long time that was just like a little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. And finally it just like broke completely. I think it probably cost them a lot of money, but that's their job,
Yeah. So do you have power now?
Yes. The only thing that we don't have now, the only thing is the washing machine. Like, I don't know exactly what the problem is, but there's still, like with the washing machine and the dryer outlets, there's still a problem, and somebody else has to come fix that. But the air's on, all of we can use anything else in the house is working perfectly fine, like nothing ever happened. Better than ever.
So did they say anything about the wiring that's in the walls or anything? Because I would imagine that's a fire hazard.
They said that's all working perfectly fine. That the reason I don't know whether they're telling me the truth or not. I don't know anything about anything that has to do with wiring or anything, right? But what they said was that it was outside, in that where it was just like over time that it had what's the word they used? They used the word corroded.
Yeah.
And that's what led to it like breaking or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know that I believe that.
Well, that's what I've been saying about the deterioration, because if you have old wiring in the walls, that would deteriorate too.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever seen that? Have you seen
Definitely old.
Have you ever seen the movie The Money Pit?
No.
Okay. Totally, you guys should watch it. You will love it. It's Tom Hanks. He's so funny. Anyway, they buy this old mansion, and it looks like it's all pristine, but the people who sell it to them were just taking the cash and running. So they buy this house that is just falling apart. And he's in the kitchen and he's trying to cook something, and there's all of a sudden a wall outlet kind of shorts out, and he goes over and looks at it, and a fire starts behind the wall, like the wiring, and you watch the fire go all the way across and start blowing out the appliances and stuff like that. Like, it can be serious. I mean, the movie is funny. The movie is funny, but it wouldn't be funny in real life. Maybe there's someone that could like come and check for you independently so that you could know it's safe. You know?
I could do that. Yes, I could totally do that. But it has to be something big, just in my mind, something big, because this has never happened, right? Something big had to cause that to happen. And like when it happened initially, it made like a popping noise, which I told them that, right? But when it happened, like when it kicked, because it just kicked the breaker on the inside the first time whenever I turned the washing machine on. But whenever we came back that same day, that night, when everything went off for good, that it didn't make that noise anymore. So I don't know what that noise was initially. It was the same thing that happened with my power a few years back. Thank goodness I had a wood burner because it was really cold in January. See, we have a buddy heater, but we didn't have anything for it. Wasn't that bad though. Like we went to his aunt's house during the day, but there's not enough room for all of us to sleep. So we just would get the kids to sleep and then come home here and sleep. And where it was nighttime, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it could have been worse, you know?
Wait, Jenna has something she's trying to say, and she said that we're ignoring her and that other people love her here. We love you. What is going on? I didn't see the chat.
I love you. When I talk, sometimes I don't see what's being said, so I'm sorry. I was not ignoring you on purpose.
And by the way, I didn't issue my disclaimer that earlier, well, just before now, it was 4:20 in California. So I'm just saying for the record.
I'm sorry, Chaos. I honestly did not mean to do that.
Yeah. Okay, you love us, but then you're not going to tell us what's going on. I'm going to scroll back up because she was talking about it. Only half messing around. It's okay. They'll continue to ignore me. I'm good. Oh, she didn't have her phone service for a while. That would suck. I would be paralyzed. I would be out of touch with everyone if I didn't have a phone.
She's just fucking around. Okay. Just ignore Chaos. She's trouble. Look, you can't go fucking around with me like that. You know I'll take you serious.
No, but seriously, I would be lost without a phone. Like, can you imagine? Without a phone, like, I would, what would you do? That's how I have contact with everyone.
See, here's the thing too, right? Like, not only did I not have power, then I didn't have anywhere to charge my phones. And here at the house, like, there was one corner in the living room that I could sit on the couch, like right on the edge of the couch, and get like 1 bar of 3G, enough to like surf the web for a few minutes, and then it would go back to 1X.
We are so dependent. We are really dependent on power now. We really are, as a society. We're dependent on electricity. Like this.
But you know what? I still did have, and I did think about this too. It wasn't hot, but I still had clean water. Even though I had no power,
that's a big deal. And you know, see, we are announcing it again. Flint still has no water. Christina from Flint, if you don't know who she is, Flint still has no water. And one of the comments that has resounded with me, so I've talked about it with people, is that she said that when the little kids finger paint and they go to wash their patties, there's no water for them to wash their little hands. They have no clean water, you guys. Our government is still not making sure that they have clean water, and they know what the problem is, and they've known for years now.
Just so crazy to me that I can have my power out, all of that stuff, but yet I still have clean water coming out of my faucet, you know?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I could still take a shower, even though it was not warm. It was clean. It was still drinkable.
If
It's
you have
crazy
to, you could
me.
even build a fire and heat the water, you know, if you have to or whatever. But you had water. The fact
Yeah,
that
that's what.
they don't have any water, like that is just that. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, Amanda
Well,
Love.
congrats, Donna.
Amanda Love, I don't have the picture of my lips right now, but you guys can see them. They're just stretched out into a smile.
This is her evil twin sister. I just spilled coffee all over my face. I missed my whole mouth, I guess. Crystal, what are you doing?
Crystal and Doughboy, what are you guys doing over there?
Right.
Nothing.
Now
I
it's
was
not the
getting out
time
of
for this.
It's anything. I'm in.
Thank you, Paige. That's sweet of you. Thank you. I have it all cut off because my face is mushed up against another person that I don't really want to see. Plus, I shouldn't put the picture on YouTube.
Wait a minute, Crystal. Did you go to the doctor?
I went to the hospital.
What did they say? I just now seen this.
I have a really bad abscess. You didn't see the picture of my lip and the side of my face?
No.
Yeah.
Did they give you antibiotics and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's bad.
goodness. So are you down for the count right now? Like, are you laying somewhere on a sofa, like all like hospitaled up?
No, I'm out of the hospital. I just
Crystal
been
is a
in
hot
pain.
mess. Yes, she is. Did they give you antibiotics and stuff? I didn't hear that part. I zoned out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got antibiotics and pain medicine and stuff for the nausea because I keep getting migraines so bad that it's making me sick.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Crystal. Welcome, Nightmare Files, who just stumbled across this stream. It says it's the most random stream that was recommended to you. We're happy to be the most random.
Lucky you. Welcome to the stream.
Yes. This conversation can go anywhere. Feel free to suggest a topic.
I am wearing Verona by Ofra. It was in our BoxyCharm last month.
When
And
did
I
you do
love it.
your hair again?
I have it.
Yes. The last time I saw it, it was really faded and it looked really mermaidish, and it's bright again. So you did it at some point since I've seen you last, like the last week or something.
Mm-hmm. I washed it.
Really? It looks phenomenal.
I washed it in
I
cold
just
water
love
a
it.
couple of times.
You know, that will probably help the color stay if you wash it in cold, right?
I had no choice.
Hi, Willow. Brian.
What?
I'm 3 hours late for 420. My bad. Oh, thank you,
always it's a good chance that it's always 420 at my house.
Always. So, Crystal, are you on pain medication right now? She never has ever taken pain medication. It makes her crazy.
Not take it. It's
Is it helping?
barely.
Yeah, you look like you are in horrible pain.
Yeah, I had to go to work like that.
How long has it been swollen like that?
This just showed up this morning. Yesterday it wasn't that bad. It was just hurting. And I went to the ER
Hey,
and they
Willow.
said that I had an abscess. So they drained it out and then they gave me the meds and everything. And I took the meds last night and laid down. And when I woke up this morning, I realized the side of my face felt so it's just different, like something wasn't right. And I went to the bathroom. When I came back through, I looked in the mirror and I seen it and I was like, oh my God.
You know what's the first thing she told me?
What?
She said, I look like a duck. And she said it in the most like sad, pitiful voice ever.
Look,
And I'm not
lip
gonna
injections.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. It was adorable as hell.
Aw.
Like, I'm a duck.
Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Unicorn. Well, Neely, I'm glad you found me. I like that name.
Yeah, I like it. I'm glad I got paid Friday, but it just sucked because 3/4 of my paycheck had to get in by my.
Can't hear you.
I said I'm glad that I got my paycheck on Friday because it was the only I could get my medicine, but 3/4 of my paycheck went right to all my meds.
Oh, that's
I bet. Yeah. Do you
So
not
I'm
have
like,
insurance?
no, not yet. Not for
that
like another
sucks.
60 days.
Can you not get Medicaid?
Nope.
Why?
I fall between the cracks. I am what considered where I make too much to get Medicaid, and I'm considered where I don't make enough to be able to get like Obamacare or any other insurance.
Yeah, because we suck. America sucks at healthcare. We suck at taking care of people, especially when they're working and paying taxes and then they cannot get
Hi,
medical
Red Road
care.
Runner.
That sucks.
Hey, Red Road Runner. So they don't offer anything where you work, huh?
No, not for like 90 days.
Shift leader. If she moved up in her position, yes.
What do you mean? So they offer it to some people, but they don't offer it to everyone?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that's common,
What?
Stephanie. That's common. So what happens is
Really?
they offer insurance as a package to people who are more towards management, but then there's certain workers that don't qualify. So that's one way that a corporation gets out of a loophole of having to provide insurance for people. But even in providing insurance, like at my last job, I got full coverage. I mean, I had full medical, dental, everything, vision, whatever. But it still cost me about $280 a month, to have all that coverage.
As a nurse.
So when there's a YouTuber that I watched for the last like 6 months, and she was terminal cancer. She died June 26th, but she was in England. And the last 6 months, she's had to get care for cancer. And I've watched as in their medical system, literally, she has to get a scan. So it's ordered the next day. She just shows up. They get her in. She does whatever, gets the lab results back. I mean, it's immediate. And it flows perfectly smoothly for all of their citizens for the entire country. Anyone goes to the doctor, they make an appointment. If they need a referral, it's immediately handed off to the right department who's doing the scans. They do that. If they need a specialist, they get appointment right away. It's crazy. Our system.
See, it's not like that though in every country that has nationwide health care though.
Well, I will tell you that you watch it real time in England, and if they can get their crap together and do that, then we can get our crap together and do it. There's no reason why it has to be this big screw up.
I wonder what the difference, maybe Donna can know, but what's the difference in what England has and then like what France has? Because I know in France they have long waiting periods, and it doesn't run.
Who are we getting that information from, though? Who are we getting that information from?
I have friends that are from France.
Okay, so that would be something to look at and compare, see what it is in Canada too, because Canada came in front of our Senate and blew them out of the water and said, okay, you're wrong. We don't have wait times like that. We don't have those problems. You guys are talking about problems that we do not have. So, you know what I'm saying?
But I don't trust is it the government saying that, or is it the citizens saying that?
No, it was a prominent doctor from Canada.
Okay.
Who was discussing their healthcare system as a person who is a provider, like a
Mhm.
and who uses the services as well, not someone government level.
But the taxes is the different. Like, I think, I don't know.
This is the thing, okay? People harp on, well, who's going to pay for it? Okay, no one says that when we increase the military budget. No one says, where are we going to get the money? We spend
Gary.
over half
Hey,
of our
Gary.
budget on the military. We do not need that much money going into our military. We don't. We have roads that are crumbling. We have infrastructure that's failing. Imagine, okay, the wiring on your house.
I disagree.
Imagine your house as our country. Okay.
Mhm.
You have wiring outside that has not been maintained. You have problems outside that need to be addressed, right? The people who come and handle fixing the power, your lawn, whatever, they all have no health care. So when they get sick, it's deteriorating them. So you're getting less and less help that way. I mean, if you think about it as that kind of overall arching scale, right? Like
I
Crystal
think
right now, look at her. She works and she pays taxes, and look at how much money she just had
Hey,
to pay in
Marla.
medication, because we pay more than any other country in the world for the same meds. And our government, instead of legislating costs for medication, has it open season that they can charge whatever they want to make our drugs.
It sucks.
Yeah, I 100% agree that the pharmaceutical business it's horrible.
They're all in it together. So we have the insurance companies who pay for.
It's absolutely politicized. I'm sure it is.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Well, it goes like this. We have the insurance company that pays for people's prescriptions when they have insurance, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the pharmaceutical industry that gets to charge whatever they want. Now, the insurance companies don't have a problem with that, because when the patient needs higher meds, everyone straight across the board, they just increase premiums. So they increase everyone's premiums that covers every time those drugs go up, or the drugs that are astronomically expensive for us. The insurance companies pay that out, but they increase everyone's premiums to cover those expenditures, and they're in it hand to mouth. The people get insurance and pay the insurance companies. The insurance companies pay the pharmaceutical industry for the pharmaceuticals. It's a big happy loop for the people making money, and all the people in the middle who have to pay the insurance companies still pay for drugs, or don't have insurance and have to pay for high drugs. Those companies are the only ones getting something out of it. The people with insurance don't really even get what we should get out of it. Insurance companies make money by denying care, not by providing it. So, they like to deny things for pre-existing conditions, all kinds of disqualifiers, dragging their feet on paying bills when they have bills that they need to pay. Let's say they get a $20,000 invoice, they'll sit on it and make the person call back and call back and call back to get it paid. Like, come on. They're making interest on all that money.
Here's what I think about the military thing, though, right? I feel like there's so many people that have sacrificed so much that I don't know. Maybe the money's going to different things, but they have shitty. You think that the wait times are bad? The VA is bad. It's bad. They need better.
Every single citizen, regardless of their job, we all need better. All of us.
You're right.
And there's so much that they can fix here, but where are they putting that military spending even? That military spending isn't going to the veterans and for healthcare. That military spending is going for research on more weapons and more battleships and more destroyers and crap like that. Oh, you guys, here's something really funny. I wish I could remember the link, but I think it's like Navy and Spanish. Like if you put in the title Navy and Spanish, like argue or something like that. There's this naval captain, and he was messaging, and he kept getting a message back that there was something in his way. And he started saying, he was saying out broadcast, he's like, listen, we're coming and you need to move. And the person was messaging back, go, you need to move. And he was like, no, I have like 6 destroyers with me and I am coming. So you need to move. We're the U.S. military. We do not move. And the Spanish guy messages back, this is real. The Spanish guy messages back and goes, well, I don't know what to tell you because I'm standing on land. So when I say that we're not moving, we're really not moving. So you can military yourself out of that one. I don't know how.
What, Rennie?
Wait, Stephanie, I try to get involved in streams constantly and I get ignored 98% of the time, not nonstop. I can't mentally anymore. Hurts my heart. I'm sorry, Rennie. I did not mean to ignore you. I was actually getting ready to ask you about the insurance in your country when you said that. But I mean, I didn't want to interrupt Sassy. She was telling me something. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Here's my question. Like people, because this is something I honestly don't know. I don't know anybody personally that lives anywhere other than France, right? That's the only place that I had to, like, that I've ever asked questions to. But do you know what are the tax differences? Not that it matters because, I mean, we still pay a lot of taxes anyways, but do they pay more taxes than we do to get the quality health care? Like, how does it work? How do they pay for it?
The only way that I know is in England, and they seem to have like a flatter tax. Like they don't, instead of doing percentages for everyone and stuff like that, they have more of a flat tax, if that makes sense. Plus, the corporations and businesses don't have the loopholes that our corporations and businesses do. The top corporations in the U.S. pay 0 taxes on average. 0. So when they're raking in the money, they're raking in billions, right? And then they pay no taxes on that. So they're a drain completely. They're not putting in any share at all.
We don't get a lot. Yes, I did know that. Hey, Aaron, that there is absolutely, because I heard like Donald Trump, because, you know, they were wanting to see his taxes or whatever. And he was like, change the laws because, you know, I don't have to pay taxes, or not. I don't have to, but I can get by without paying taxes.
Yeah, there are laws in place that protect me when they make a certain amount of money. There's all these loopholes so that they end up paying very, very little legally. Legally, they end up paying very, very little.
Oh yes, legally, right. So why it's just set up that way because they are going to take their money and turn around and put it back into politics, right? Or most of them do. Like, why?
Well, no, it's set up that way because they're the ones who are lobbying and talking to our politicians, and our politicians keep voting in their best interest instead of the people's best interest.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because those lobbyists give the politicians money to get reelected. And so it's in their best interest to help all the people giving them money, which is why money should be out of politics. That was a big, huge thing. It still is right now.
Money should never, and I don't, with a free market or, you know, semi-free market, I don't think that'll ever happen. You know what I mean?
We used to be protected from this. Money was not always this way in politics.
So what I'm saying is money corrupts. And these people have tons and tons and tons, unlimited amounts of money, right? So eventually they're going to get corrupted. It's the way that is. The politicians that can get money from these people eventually are going to become corrupted as well. You know what I mean? So much money is going to corrupt eventually. Unfortunately.
Thankfully, we do have people where that isn't the case. But I would say majority, when they're looking at a political career right now, it's been this way for so long that it's almost like the people who are that mentality anyway, that's what they're doing, because they're not doing it like, I want to serve the people and I really have passion for that. They're looking at, if I'm this kind of politician, I make this amount of money and I get kickbacks and I get this from everyone. And so those people are being more drawn in. Does that make sense?
And they make so much. Wait, Steph, thank you, honey, so much for offering. That means a lot. I might bake some banana muffins and cake for the kids. I'll just listen. Okay, Rainey, you let me know. The money that politicians make is outrageous. And I don't know if it's that way in other countries, you know what I mean? But it is a lot of money. And a lot of them, it's for the rest of their lives.
Well, but you look at what happens when they're run for office. Okay, so Howard Dean, for instance. Howard Dean ran for president, right? And he lost. But when he lost, he became a lobbyist. So then he makes money from the corporations getting meetings with other politicians to talk to them about policy. And he makes money hand over fist from the corporations as a lobbyist because he has political connections already. So it becomes this whole web of all the lobbyists, our politicians who know each other, who all make back promises behind closed doors, who come out to us on both sides. I'm not talking parties here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Politicians are corrupt.
The biggest problem that I see myself is that people keep putting it in parties and say liberals XYZ or conservatives XYZ. It's no longer a divide. We are talking about one unified problem. That is politicians on both sides making promises and saying one thing, and then going along with corporations behind our backs and making sure that corporations in America are the most profitable thing, and our citizens, like Crystal with her abscess, can't even get health care, have to pay hundreds for medication. That's just, come on. They're the workforce.
Everything, though, all big not all, most big corporations in America, I don't know if it's like this in other countries right now, but in America are politicized. YouTube is 100% politicized now, and it's getting worse and worse, and some people don't see it. Like, here's the thing. How do I say this? If something's politicized, but you're on the side that is on that corporation side, you won't notice it as much. But if you kind of disagree with the corporate, what I'm trying to say is things like YouTube, which is pretty much a monopoly. I think there's not anything that competes with YouTube, right? And if it's a monopoly, I think it should be considered a public platform. How they made Donald Trump's Twitter like there's a word for it, public platform, where you can't like block people and all this stuff from the platform for political
more
opinion.
of like an open platform, more open source, where everyone has input, etc. We're talking about Google, though. Google owns YouTube. And
it's Google but see, that's a monopoly, and it should be it should be considered the public platform or whatever.
What everyone forgets is that corporations do not vote, okay? So we as people, when we talk to each other, we need to vote for instead of going party lines, people need to listen to what the politician is actually saying and then pay attention afterward that all of those promises, like getting Flint water or getting a universal health care plan going, where people like Crystal don't spend hundreds of dollars on antibiotics that if she didn't have them, an infection could kill her. She is a taxpayer. She's a young taxpayer. We need her young and healthy so she can continue to work and pay taxes that put in for roads and fire departments and police departments and make food for people or grow food for people. Or all of us are little cogs, right? So we all have to turn and go push elsewhere. Okay, so we all have to push up and push up. But what's happening is there's grease that has been going upward and upward and upward and upward, and there's no lubrication and grease down here anymore. So all the little wheels are the ones who are in pain trying to do what they need to do to survive. And the fat cats at the top are just, I mean, everyone's just loving it up there. I mean, they can
Oh,
they can
they
spend
don't care.
$800 on a
I
haircut.
mean, you
Yeah,
have
they
to
don't
sit
care.
there and decide, am I going to be able to eat for the week or my medication? Which one? I mean, when you sit there and you're busting your butt as hard as you can to work constantly, and then you get sick and you have to sit there and decide, fuck, this is taking money out of my food. This is taking money from my bills, but I have to have this medicine. I have to get better. If I don't get better, I can't work to make the money.
Right.
Did you
And
tell
see,
them that you didn't have insurance? Because, like, if you do that, well, I know now it's probably too late, but if you tell them, then they'll most of the time find you something on the Walmart $4 list.
Yeah, one of my scripts was able to be, but
Okay.
I have more than just a small amount. They gave me a ton of meds to try to knock this shit out.
Oh,
and then
that's
I
so
have the blood
terrible.
thinner for my leg.
Good night, Mr. Boot. Have a good weekend.
Night, Boot. I am so sorry, Crystal, that you're going through that. And then you're right. I mean, if your prescriptions are hundreds of dollars and you need them, obviously, because it's an infection, so it's bad. And then you have to decide, like, okay, so I can't buy my vegetables. Do I eat ramen all week? Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
Children get covered by Medicaid in America until 16 at least. It's only if you're under a certain threshold.
Yeah, there are certain children that are in the same position with parents that, like Crystal is, where they make in between. So they don't make enough to qualify, or they don't make low enough to qualify, but they make too much to get any kind of other aid or program or anything. So we have bunches of cracks in our system where people who are not covered by crap.
And there are those of us who will work for it, which carries the burden for those who won't. But the problem
Crystal is working. Crystal is working right now. Crystal has a job. She has a full-time job, and she still has no insurance and pays taxes too. So she pays her amount too, but she's not getting anything. So,
I think that the Medicaid threshold for children is much higher than it is for an adult. I could be wrong. Like, it's easier for children to be covered by Medicaid than it is an adult.
All three of my kids are covered by Medicaid. I unfortunately cannot qualify for it.
Yeah, working poor. That's the thing, right? Like, the middle class now is becoming, it's like lower and lower, and there's more people that have less.
Yeah, exactly. It's been churning downward for a number of decades, where the middle class is is replacing the lower class, and the lower class are becoming poor. Like, literally,
lots of kids aren't covered. Oh, Evelyn said in Texas, lots of kids aren't covered. See, I don't know a lot about that. That's why I said maybe, because it's just what I think in North Carolina, and I think it's different state to state too. Are all children covered in Australia? I'm sure they are. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Which rich people do make jobs for other people. But if there's loopholes of them not paying taxes, the people that have to pay taxes are the people that they're employing, not paying as much money to. Because the loopholes aren't for people that aren't these CEOs of these rich companies. They're only for them to not have to pay taxes.
And in the highest license available in my field, and I'm in the same boat as Crystal.
Can't hear you.
Oh. I was reading Evelyn's comment.
Oh, okay. I have a master's degree in the highest licensure available in my field, and I'm in the same boat as Crystal. No insurance. Oh, wow. That's crazy. When I was working as a nurse, taking care of people every single day, mine was $600 a month, whether I used it or not. And it wasn't even that good, you guys. I don't know what the name of it was. The one that I had at the job before that was cheaper and better. But the last job that I had was $600 a month, and it wasn't that good. I fell just above an assistance, but can't afford coverage. And if I get sick, I'm financially wrecked and I have a bachelor's. That's crazy. See, I had no idea there were companies that didn't insure everybody at the company. I had no idea until now.
Oh, yeah. See, there's ways around things. And when they complain and they're like, where's this money going to come from? You know, first of all, our government spends a lot of money.
Look how many people
on
in
defense
chat
and weapons.
falls under the same exact problem. So these loopholes are laws. That's why they can get away with that. Is that what you're saying?
They're gaps. No, loopholes are gaps in the law. So let's say, so it's a gap within the law where something isn't specifically expressed. So they go, they have the attitude of, what's that saying? Ask for forgiveness instead of permission. So instead of paying their fair share and then saying, hey, we think we're paying too much because blah, 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 they say, you know what? Here's this little gap where it says that we can do this and this with money, and then it's not applicable. So let's do this and this with money over here so that it's not applicable to that, or something like that. You know what I mean? They'll find gaps within the law that allow them to do certain things, like calling the employees, 100% full-time employees as management, that they qualify for these certain incentive programs. And well, maybe there's not an opening for like tons of shift managers. Maybe there's only one opening. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like, okay, Renee says you can go through private or public system here. Publicly, usually there is wait, but private, which you pay as not as long as a wait, but if it costs so much to go private. Okay, so you do have waits if you use the, what do you call this? The national insurance there.
But that's the thing, is how long is the wait? Because
I do know this, Sass. I don't know if you know about this, but there was, I think it was, I don't know what year it was, so I'm not going to say what year it was. But in Canada, the waits were so long in the ER that someone wanted to pay to get help because they were dying and they had to wait. And now they passed the law that you can get private insurance. I mean, you can pay privately if you're dying to get help. But now I think that they offer insurance privately. So,
well, now here's the thing that
working so good. Listen, if it's working so good and it's such a good thing, why would they move more towards private insurance like we have?
Well, you have to look at who's in charge right now.
Hey, Keith.
There's a certain incentive for them, for their corporations, to do exactly as American corporations do. There's a financial incentive for the politicians and the powers that be right now, who may not be voting with the people's interest, but with corporations' interest at heart. If you look at, like I said, I followed this blog of Emily for the last 6 months. She passed away on June 26th.
I see you, Nature Valley.
Hi, Nature Valley.
But her name's Emily Hayward. She's very inspirational. She was a personal trainer. She's just amazing. And she had a love story with her girlfriend. She was just wonderful. But you watched when she would get an alert or something changed with her health, like she noticed something and had to go to the doctor, it was immediate. So she would notice something. She's already in the system as a alert, right, that she has cancer. So she would call the doctor. She would have an appointment the next day. If they said, we want to do new scans, she went right over either that same afternoon or the next day and got scans of her brain and stuff like that. For us, it would be like a week in between.
But the difference here is that we would never get in to see a doctor to get diagnosed to know we're dying. But here's the thing, Evelyn, though. Anybody here can go to the ER. They have to see you, right? Period. Whether you have insurance, whether you don't have insurance, they have to see you in the ER.
Yeah.
It's not like that there. Like, you have to, from what the personal stories, the people that I've talked to, it's not working. In the countries, like in France, they said it's the people that I know in France, it's not good. I think maybe if anything, there should be something that is globally, if you can't get private, but you should be allowed to get private insurance as well. Both should be available, I think.
I think we look at countries like in Scandinavia and, you know, Norway, Finland, people who are doing it correctly, people who are doing it right. Finland has the lowest mortality rate of anywhere in the world because they not only have, you know, subsidized health care for the nation, but also they do lots of wellness when the lady is pregnant, whatever mother it is, when she's pregnant, she gets lots of checks and she's allowed to stay in the hospital like extra time. Like our hospitals, like try and throw you out. Like even if you have, you know, complications going on, it's hard for them to keep you in the hospital. They make sure that they keep the girl in the hospital. And then when the woman goes home with her baby, they send home a little box with them that has all this stuff like blankets and all this wellness baby stuff to send it home. And the government pays for all of that. And the people are very happy and the babies go home and don't die on a very, very low percentage, the lowest in the world because of that. Because they're getting a good start. So they turn into productive citizens who turn into taxpayers and they pay taxes. So we want people to be healthy so they can work and pay taxes. And
Walmart
we don't want people getting sick.
Here now, Walmart does maternity leave for a long time. I can't remember. And now they have paternity leave here at Walmart. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
They just started this, and it's all paid. It's all paid too, by the way.
Yeah. Most countries, they get weeks and weeks. And I'm sorry, I have a dog dancing around me. Okay, go outside. Go. Go out. Sorry. He's huge. He's like 140 pounds, and I can't with him. So Walmart is doing that on their own, yes, but there's certain things with Walmart too where they're not very fair with their workers. You know, so I'm glad they're doing that with they're embracing that. Most other countries, people get like things like a month off.
No, they get longer. It's longer than a month now. I want to say it's like 16 weeks for the ladies, and like it's longer than a month for the guys too.
Well, I'm glad that the women get 16 weeks because the baby is, I mean, you can't put a newborn in childcare. You know,
it's a
how
long
hard
time.
would that be?
It's all paid. I think Walmart, in my opinion, just from my personal take on things, obviously I'm probably a little biased. Walmart gets a bad rap for what they are. They have good insurance. They have great benefits. I don't know why they have higher wages than most places. You know, they don't pay just minimum wage, even if the wage is, you know, lower than what it is. They start out higher than minimum wage. I don't know why they get such a bad rap. Maybe it's because it used to be worse and it's gotten better now. Maybe. I don't know.
They've had a pattern of moving into areas like they're doing right here. We have, like, I have a couple of Walmarts, and I have a Walmart marketplace near me, which is just the grocery store kind of with like a little bit of extra items. There's a couple of Walmart superstores too, very near me. The Walmart marketplace moved in and they cut the prices from the other grocery stores that are around them. Now, this is what happens. We have a couple of different local chains that have been here for decades and decades. Those are the stores they're undercutting. Those two are pretty comparable in most items. They have different sale items week to week, but they're pretty comparable. What they do, and Walmart is famous for doing this across the country. I'm not just saying they're doing it here. What they do is they move a store in that's competition to them. They target that store. They move in and cut the profits down in that particular store because they can afford to. They can afford to have a store have very no profit at all. But they cut all the prices so that everyone starts going there, and the other stores go out of business, the smaller stores, mom and pop shops and smaller chains. They go out of business, and then Walmart hikes the prices up in that area, and they're the only game in town. They've done it across the country.
Okay.
So now, then they increase the prices.
Yeah, I totally can see that. I mean, because they're pretty much, if Walmart's around, they're a monopoly. You know, like there's a few things that can compete but not many things can compete with Walmart.
And they've begun orchestrating that nationwide and putting out of business small businesses, mom and pop shops, little pharmacies, little grocery store chains where maybe they have like 11 stores. They're no competition for Walmart. Like they're
none.
Walmart can squash them. Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that because I think because here it's so small. That's what I was saying to Evelyn, that a lot of things are different here than what it is in bigger cities when there's a bunch of different, places and things and options. It's just not like that here, like whatever's here, we're just happy to have. And Donna, that's another thing too. I can't say that I blame them though, because that's kind of part of business. I mean, not saying it's good business practices, but it is a business after all.
I try and make conscious decisions that way. Like when we go out to eat, me and my friends and I, sorry, my mom would kill me. My friends and I, when we go out to eat, we try to eat at local restaurants, not like Applebee's or Cheesecake Factory and the chains. So we go to the smaller businesses on purpose, and when there's self-checkout, I never use self-checkout, never, because they're trying to replace people with machines.
They are.
So
people
need their jobs. So
very, very, very soon. I don't even think it'll be that far in the future that computers will take over most jobs. Like right now, really, if you think about it, almost everything that's done in a fast food restaurant could be done by a computer, essentially. Unfortunately, I mean.
Yeah, imagine you pull up to a drive-through and you just punch buttons on a menu, and then you get forward and they hand you a bag of food. Like,
almost everything that's done can be done, with a computer. We don't have a lot in Pinehurst there because there's a lot of rich people there. It's like a golfing community where they have the open like 2 times or 3 times, but we don't have any like small restaurants like that.
Diners or anything? Nothing?
Not really. A couple, but not many.
I wonder how many there were like 30 years ago.
Probably a lot more than I know that even in my small town, and my town's so small, there's buildings that were things that are just completely abandoned now. They're nothing.
Yep. That's what it is. See, the small business owners get squeezed out. They just can't compete with corporations. They just can't.
And it's also harder for them for the taxations that they get, the regulations that have gone up and up and up and up that big corporations have no problem dealing with, that it's really hard to start a business now. But it's way harder now than it was, 20 years ago to start a business.
Part of the reason that it's so hard to start a business and why that's not going to change unless we change our politicians is because corporations don't want to make it easier for small businesses to start. They're in the process of stomping them out. So they don't want legislation that helps small businesses. So if you think your politician says, oh yeah, I'm all about small businesses, watch the way they vote. Do they vote in a way that helps the corporations? Probably, because
they're the ones that have the money. That's
the corporations don't want a small business popping up and possibly taking parts of their profit.
Craft is at a craft show. He said the craft makers is rapidly changing. Their online business is booming in the craft show. Yeah, that's another thing too, is e-commerce is like, look what Sugar Booger said. She said she don't even have to go to the store anymore at all. So actually getting out and going to the store, used to 20 years ago, you had no other options. Now you can get anything online, anything.
Have you ever seen that movie WALL-E?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you know how people, quote unquote, are those pink blobby things that float around on hovercrafts? It's literally becoming like that.
Yep. I agree.
Crystal, are you okay?
Yeah.
My Pink Life said, sorry I came in late, Crystal. I hope you get better soon.
Thank you.
You look all bundled up. Look at her poor face.
I know.
Smile.
That's what I was looking at. I'm like, oh.
You do kind of look like a duck. Oh my God.
It looked worse this morning.
Yeah,
like-
the picture that you sent me, it looks, but they drained it. That's why, right?
Well, no, that was yesterday when they drained it. So what it looked like this morning versus today is, I took my antibiotic right after I took that picture, and then I took another antibiotic about an hour ago. So it's starting to ease off a little.
Did a lot come out when they drained it?
Yes, two
That's
little
my kind
vials.
of thing. Oh my God. If you guys could see the things that I have seen drained, had to, like, I done wound care nursing for a year, and I hated it. I loved doing the act, but the paperwork with the state was so much because I worked in a nursing home, and like bed sores have to be followed, close. You have to measure them every day, and it's a lot. But anyways, that kind of stuff is my favorite. I love it. Love it.
Aunt Mimi, they stuck a needle. The abscess is right here. So it's like literally right underneath my nose, and it's causing it to go up towards my eye. But they stuck a needle
right below
up in my
sinus, huh?
Yeah. They stuck the needle right up in and just drained it all out.
Okay. Do not touch yet.
Yeah, it's
IBF, I think everything costs more money there, though. What does the fox say? Like
Sugar
a
burger.
pack of cigarettes is like $20.
It was hurting yesterday, and it was just sore, but there was nothing there. This all popped up this morning.
But the government wants people stupid. What? Yeah, that's another thing. Like hey, Mama Cat. You too. I'm great. I have power again. Now I'm happy. I'm honestly thinking, like, trying to decide whether. Shut up. Trying to decide whether I want to do homeschooling or not.
It's my tooth. What, Stephanie?
I'm deciding whether I want to do homeschooling or not.
Why?
I feel like, in my opinion, that the public schools are not what they used to be, and I won't do it probably, but like I've seen people bring stuff home that now I feel like public schools are even starting to get politicized, which is absolutely insane to me. Not saying that it would be that way everywhere, but I don't know. I just feel like I homeschooled my kids for about 7 years. I don't know. I'm scared.
I can't even weigh in on that. I don't have any kids, as you know. There's some things that in school were harder for me, subjects that were harder, like English and writing. I love doing that. But math, oh my gosh, even to this day, sometimes I do math in my head and get it wrong.
I'm the opposite. Like English and grammar and all that, hate it. Always have hated it. Will always hate it. Don't read books. None of that. Math, science, all that's my favorite. It's scary. See, Rennie, I don't know if I can do it, to be honest. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I know, Jenna. That's the thing, though, right? Like, you can't trust anything that you see anymore. That's another thing about like YouTube and those kind of things needing to be like public spaces, because now everything on television is politicized in America anyways. Obviously, I don't know about anything else, but it's crazy. Like, it is so politicized. It's ridiculous.
But you look at the fact of, and my mom is in education, so my family, lots of them are teachers, a couple of
Thank
principals.
you, Kara.
Their huge complaint usually at the I know elementary and high school level, I don't know about middle school, elementary, what I hear is when the kids are coming in from the homes, that it takes a couple of years for them to even understand that school is someplace that they don't just get to do whatever they want. Because at home,
yes.
they have so much permission that when they come into schools, the first few years, it's very difficult to manage the kids down to a point where they don't think that they can do whatever they want, where they know where if they're told to do something, that's what they're doing, you know? So there is that problem that's a pretty strong battle now, and it's growing from what I hear. And then I also hear at the high school level, they complain. This is from conversations that I just sit there and listen because I'm not a teacher, but they get together and this is what they discuss is problems. So at the high school teacher people, they generally complain that when homeschoolers come into high school to get more socialization usually, because at that point they've been at home and they don't have those developmental school relationships. So they'll come into high school and they are so out of place and so duck out of water because at the same time, the more free teenagers who are able to pretty much do a lot of what they want, they're not really embracing of people who aren't familiar with things.
I was mortified when my son bought a book home from school about shooting stars in the sky. And whenever you see a shooting star, it's a dog flying from the sky to earth and plummets to their death. Whoa.
What? Oh, my goodness. I would go to the school board and I would say, why is this book part of the curriculum? Holy cow. That is just morbid.
And you see, here's the thing. And I know he'll probably get better and he's still young now. But like, I'm telling you guys, Mason cannot sit down for literally 2 minutes in a row. He just can't. He has to be going. He has to be doing. He has to be busy. And I just think that maybe it'll help him. I don't know. But I think it'll be hard for him. I really do. I went off my nut.
Yeah, and like Sugar Booger just said, we've only done 1 year of homeschool for 3rd grade, but I'm still not sure if we'll continue. There's pros and cons to both. And that's what it is. Because I can see the pros too. I can see the pros, but I also can see the cons too. So I don't know.
Horrific. Okay, that's not really true because there are a lot of programs now where homeschoolers get together for school and learning projects. Yes, and I've heard that too. My friend, her daughter went to prom. And I'm sure they have other things, but she went to prom and she's homeschooled. And always has been homeschooled. And it was like a homeschool prom. And there was a lot of people there, and it's a whole like organized situation. But I don't know. I'm not here. I don't have good time management skills. I don't know. I just don't think I should do it.
It is a big responsibility to take that into your own hands.
Sounds like
you know
school
what I
may
mean?
be
Like
good for him. And it might be great for him. I baby him too much. Like, if we're being honest, I do. I always have. I probably always will. I do. I baby him, and that's part of the reason why he is the way that he is. I mean, he's a great kid, but he just is very stubborn. Stubborn's a good word.
So you think as far as like buckling down and saying, this is the time we're going to do X, Y, Z, that would be more difficult for you, like to be on a schedule where you have to say, this is this is this, and it would be hard for you?
It would be
well, if you know your
me.
limitations.
It would be great for me. I know it would be great for me. Loosen the leash.
Well, that's one of those things. That's one of those things that if you take on, it's not, you have to succeed. So you have to buckle down and do that
part, right? Like, I kind of want to not do it just so I don't, like, obviously you have the responsibility of your kids, but the schooling part too. And
yes.
then if I fuck it up, you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Wow. Yes.
I know, Helen. I know. Trust me. And here's the thing, you guys. It is me. I know it's me because, like, Mitchell just has to say, Mason, do this. Mason does this. Always. Like, he respects his dad, listens to his dad. He's not stubborn with his dad. Like, they are like peas and carrots. For me, completely different. Night and day different. Has to be me. You know, like, it can't be him because he respects his dad.
Well, this is what I'm just going to say, this is what I would be afraid of myself if I was in a situation. We know that sometimes kids can come from the best of environments and still end up, addicted to drugs or whatever. My problem is if I made the choice and I homeschooled my children and they ended up having those kinds of issues, it would be very easy for me to blame myself and say I must have done something. It had to do with the homeschooling. I should have probably done that. I would.
Yep.
I just have a brain that does that kind
Me
of in
too.
general. I know it. So I just kind of try and think, okay, so I have to think, is this going to be one of those things that I don't feel capable of, that I feel like if I did it, it could be something that if it screws up, I'm going to blame myself entirely, because sometimes ideas just don't work.
And I don't know if I honestly don't know if I'm capable of doing that, just because of my own issues with being
Time
just
management,
focus.
focus.
I think if I could do it, I would have to get some sort of medication to focus. I have the hardest time doing those things. And right now it's not a problem because we're just, we just hang out and play, whatever. It's not like it has to be this,
regimented,
regimented.
Yes,
Yeah.
regimented, like all disciplinary, and we're doing this from 8 to 9, and then 9 to 11 we're doing this, and and the whole day too, because they're managed. They're managed all day.
I hate Top Chat too. Top Chat sucks. YouTube just needs to get rid of Top Chat. So stupid.
Chaos. I'm eating soup.
What you have to remember, he may not want to do his schooling at home with you. It's stressful. Very true. Very true too. Because he doesn't like he does like to learn with me and stuff, but even whenever I'm reading with him or whatever, it does not work as good if it's with me than with his dad. It just doesn't. I think it would probably benefit him, to be honest. Like I'm worried about the way that he is with me, and I'm used to it, right? But they deal with that kind of thing every day, and they probably know how to deal with it way better than I do. You know what I mean? They've been doing it for ever and ever and ever and ever. And plus, for me, I have that babying thing with him. You know what I mean? It's harder for me to stick with what I'm doing and feel like I'm hurting his feelings, even though he's hurting my feelings. I have a hard time with that. Teachers won't have that same connection to make him do what he needs to do. I just feel like the first day of school, they're going to be like, hey, your son's on the table again. He's throwing chairs at kids. No, he's not that bad. But he is just really active. Really, 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 really active.
Well, and maybe that's something too, is they would manage down that you have to sit right here in this place. You can't be up moving around and doing whatever. You sit right here from this time to this time unless you have to go to the restroom. Like
Hey,
right
lip gloss kitten. And he would do better if I did better. I know he would, right? Because he does better with his dad. I know this. I've always known this. I just have a hard time being like strict with him. Not strict, but just making him do the things that he needs to do if I feel like it's hurting his feelings.
Well, I think that was the biggest thing that you said right there, was the beginning of the sentence when you said he would do better if I would do better. So then the whole rest of that on the after part of why you're not doing it doesn't really make any sense. You have to go back to the very beginning when you said he would do better if I would do better. So then you know it's for his own good. It has nothing to do with his feelings.
It's me. I've always known it's me.
And
yeah, you know what's crazy? I'm not like I don't have that same weakness. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't have that same weakness with Olivia. But she's she's easier and more sensitive and more, she just goes with the flow, but I don't have that same weakness with her that I do with him. It's harder for me to stick with shit with him. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's hard for me.
Mama Cat just said, I worked with the public school for about 5 years too. Some kids that are active or challenged get labeled as bad kids. They aren't at all. They just can't learn to sit in a sit down situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there is that too, but for the most part, what the elementary school teachers that I hear are complaining about is these kids are fully capable of sitting down. It's them learning to sit quietly with nothing, just paying attention to something. Look, if I'm in a classroom, I'm not paying attention to something I want to learn necessarily. I have to learn it, whether I want to learn it or not. And they're so used to just paying attention to what they want to pay attention to, not having to focus their attention for given periods of time on anything else. It's like the technology problem or something.
Hey, Danielle. But I know he can do it, though. That's
Oh, yeah.
the craziest thing. He can do it because he does it all the time with his dad. No, I'm talking no problem whatsoever. It's crazy. So I know it's me. It's not him. I know it is.
Yeah.
I just got to change it, but it's so hard. It's not doing him any favors. I'm sure it's not that I, give in to him when I shouldn't. He's going to be a little brat if I keep that up longer, probably,
So all of that sounds like it's more important that if you think that you're hurting his feelings, all of those other things outweigh that. His feelings are just going to have to, quote unquote, be hurt. I don't think you're actually hurting his feelings. I think that might be how you're seeing it or feeling it, but really he's just testing his boundaries with you.
Yes. He knows his boundaries already. He already knows that he's old enough that he knows that his boundaries with me are different than his boundaries with his dad.
Yeah, and then he pushes those too, because he's like, I can push him and see if I can get even further, right?
Yep. I was sure to let everyone I could at the school know that my son had issues due to autism, so he couldn't get labeled as a bad kid. I know, Liberty. I know. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I do, and he's not bad, but I do if I say, do this or this is going to happen. Sometimes, which I know they're supposed to be able to predict the outcome every single time. Sometimes when he does this doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
I'll follow through. You don't actually do the punishment.
Right. And they're supposed to know, like, hey, if I like with his dad, if he says, hey, you're going to go to timeout if you do such and such, without fail, no matter come hell or high water, if he does it, he's going to go to timeout.
When I got one out.
And that's the difference. And his dad has a more stern voice than I do too. I think that has something to do with it.
Well, the consequences. Okay, this is really funny. My friend, she has always been really clear with her daughter and her son about consequences. When she says something, she always says what she thinks is, will I be able to follow through and make sure this happens? Because I have to stick to it. So whatever the punishment she gives, she sticks to. But she comes up with some outlandish ones. So the first time her daughter lied to her, she had to go to all the neighbors and knock on their door and offer to pick up all their dog poop for a penny a poop because she lied. Sometimes for free. She had to do it for free. She, creative punishments like that, where it's like, this is what you earned because that's what you did. So it's a consequence, and that's what. But she gets creative, totally creative with
Janie.
it. One time her husband was supposed to sweep the floor when she had back surgery, and she picked up the rugs in front of the doors, and when she did it with tongs, she picked the rugs up with tongs and shook them, and there was stuff there. And she said the next time that happens, I'm scooping it all up with whatever I have to and putting it in your underwear drawer since you want to keep it so badly. He was like, that never happened again. Never happened again.
I bet not.
Mm-mm. And when they were dating, he had this little bag that he would bring with like a change of clothes and stuff to her house. And he had to take the bag with him. That was part of it. Like, you have to bring the bag, you have to take it. So then one time he had left for work, and behind the bedroom door, she saw his t-shirt and stuff, and he didn't take the bag. She called him and said, oh my gosh, you have to get here. Oh my gosh, you have to come right now. Hurry. He comes pulling up, and she has the bag waiting for him on the outside at the door. And she gives him the bag, and she said, I'm not your maid. Don't forget it again, or you're going to find it in strips up in the freaking tree out front. And
I need to write these down.
no, what's funny is they dated again, and again he made the mistake and left something. She did the same thing, and when he pulled up, it was in the tree. He was like, "You're freaking crazy! What are you doing?"
Look, she said she was going to do it.
Exactly. She said, "I'm a person of my word. I told you, I'm not your maid. We are not married. I don't pick up after you. There's nothing. You come, you have your stuff, you leave, you take your stuff. I'm not responsible for anything to pick up."
Maybe I should use the dirt in the underwear drawer on Josh, because he forgets things a lot. I went, oh my God, my computer keeps wanting to update. Stop. Not now.
Oh,
Wait.
listen, Mama Cat said when my kids got to being teenagers, when they got in trouble, she made them dig holes and fill them back up. Oh my God, they thought I was so mean.
That's a great idea, though. That is a great idea. Hey, Kiki.
Yeah. Creative punishments, you know.
Yeah, but you would, who wants to fucking dig a hole and bury it again? First of all, you're going to remember why you're doing this and not ever do it again.
And so frustrated the whole time that you're digging yourself a hole and then filling it back in, which is basically what a mistake is. It's like a little nick you have to fill back in, basically. That's a good a metaphor. And they're filling it in with that lesson that I don't want to do this again. I do not want to do this again.
That's awesome. Congrats to him.
Oh, that's awesome. A senior next term and just got his license. Congratulations.
Night, sugar booger.
Night, sugar booger.
Probably. I don't know. Mitchell's watching True Blood again. I love it.
IBL said, I would never make my child pick up the neighbor's dog poop, especially because I wouldn't do it myself. Well, they had dogs and the kid loved dogs, but my friend taught her that having dogs and having pets, you do all of this stuff. It comes with the territory. So she just had to pick up more.
You made them dig their own grave. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Draft 4, completely true.
Yeah, she said, don't blink, people. Your kids grow up so fast. And they do. Even all my friends' kids. I met one of my friends. Her son was 5. And last year he turned 28. She's like, I was like, I met him, he was 5. Like, he's 28. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet you did you go to school again after that lip gloss? She said, my dad made me do our entire sprinkler system for 2 weeks for sloughing. He said, if you don't go to school, you'll work here.
See, like that. And boy, did you ever do it again? That's the question. Did you ever do it after that?
Who wants to do that? I know, right, Jenna? It's really smart. It's heartbreaking.
I remember I was going out on a date, and I had a problem doing my chores that day. And when my date showed up, my mom made him sit in the living room and announced that I hadn't done XYZ, 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 so I can't go. So I had to do all of them in a hurry while he's sitting in the living room, like by himself, sitting there, just like.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, so I never did that again. Everything was done before I was going to go out because. And I couldn't be a little snot about it either because, I liked this guy. So I didn't want him to think I'm like a little snotty person. So I had to my mom's just looking at me with this knowing look on her face, like, see?
Like, ha,
gotcha. Yep. Like, you won't do this again. Yeah, you won't be doing this again. Aunt Mimi said, my parents never spanked me. I would get grounded and hated it. If I would ask them to spank me and get it over, she would ask them. Yeah, that's funny. Please just spank me. Then I'll be done.
Yep. But I probably got like 5 spankings my whole life. But the grounding or the you can't do this, you can't do that, hated it. I would have rather taken the spanking.
Lip Gloss Kitten just said, my parents also went to classes with me. So fucking embarrassing.
Great. Hey, Blue Ridge.
Hi, Blue Ridge.
Hi, Blue
That
Ridge.
is great.
Hello, Blue Ridge.
Could you imagine? I remember one time we were at a volleyball game and my dad thought, I can't remember why, he thought that the ref fucked our team over and he cussed the ref out in front of everybody. I was like, please, can we go home? What are you doing? It's not this serious. Please. He was so mad. I don't remember why he was so mad, but he was, whatever the ref done, he was in front of everybody in the auditorium cussing the ref out at a high school volleyball game. It was awful.
My mom would do the old, if I said, that's not fair, she'd say, that's the best lesson you can learn in life. Life is not fair. I was like, what do you say to that? Or I'd say, Mom, you're so lame. And she'd say, that means I'm doing something right coming from you.
Yeah, I got both.
Jenna said she got both. I got both, but not ever I either got one or the other. Depending on what kind of mood he was in. He had to be in a really bad mood, or I had to do something really bad to get a spanking. But when I got it, holy shit, I didn't want it ever again. It was bad. Hair all over my hand.
I only got 3 spankings in my whole life.
I think I got 5 that I can remember. Maybe not even that many. I remember one was with a shoe, and it was really bad.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. It hurt.
I remember the first one was I was 3 or something, and it was so shocking to me. And I'm sure I don't remember pain at all. I'm sure it was on a diaper, my mom swatting my butt, but the whole action had never happened before. And what happened was I saw gum on the street and I picked it up and put it in my mouth. And, a toddler, right? And my mom, whoopoo, it was shocked the crap out of me that I still remember. She grabbed my arm. Somehow my fanny was hit. I was like, whoa. And she looked at me and said, don't you ever. And her whole face, I was almost like her face turned black. I've never seen her eyes so piercing. She was like, don't you ever pick up anything and put it in your mouth.
I have to, every time we go to the park, I literally have to go around and pick up all the garbage because Sissy will pick anything up and put it in her mouth. She thinks it's her drink and it's somebody else's bottle that's been sitting there for a week.
Yeah.
I don't know how long.
No.
Every single time. So I just go through and pick it up if there's anything because I know she's going to try to drink it. Never fails. Straight to her mouth. A fly swatter. Ooh. I did get
Evelyn
with a switch once. Yes, I remember a switch one time. And it was my dad was, he's like, go outside and get a switch. And I was like, okay. So went and got a little one. And he was like, nope. And he went and got his own. That was not fun. It was like a thin little bendy one. That was another time that I got a spanking. It wasn't fun.
Evelyn said, and I do love language quizzes with my teen groups. And the number one love language for teens by far is words of affirmation.
I'm back, hoes, all done. Banana bread, boom. Oh, that sounds so good. I love banana bread.
IBF just said, I heard that a long time ago. Plus, my son's different therapies always told me to focus on the positive things and redirect the negative. Well, that's for all of us, right? Couldn't we all benefit from doing that? Focusing on the positive and redirecting the negative?
Yeah, because I feel a lot of times in like whenever I was young, and a lot of kids around me, it was always just like, no, 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 don't do this. No, 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 no. Like that's all you would hear would be, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. And I know they're trying to keep you safe, but you never hear anything that's like fun or positive. It's all like, no, 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 no. I tried not to do that at all. Because I remember myself like not liking that. Y'all asleep over there? Sleeping beauties.
They're watching the screen. We're talking to you, Crystal and Doughboy. Doughboy has is Doughboy listening with headphones? Or is he listening to something else like music? You're on mute, girl.
I think she's frozen.
No, her lips are moving.
I'm right here.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
You are. We're checking
No,
on
she's
you.
watching Fortnite.
They're talking shit about us. I know. He always is. Oh boy, stop talking shit about us. We're right here.
Okay, so I just found out about this Fortnite thing, Crystal, because I watched a thing where they had copy dancers in Fortnite.
Yeah.
So what is Fortnite? I assume video game from what I saw.
It's a video game.
What is it about?
It's very
I
popular
have not the
video game.
faintest idea. I just know he's obsessed with it.
Well, they had the characters dancing, and they were getting it. So apparently, the characters dance.
Yeah. Just randomly.
They just
Makes no
stop and
sense to me.
dance whenever.
Hmm?
Huh?
When they kill somebody, they'll dance. Whenever they
Oh,
win, they dance.
I get it.
Yeah.
So is it like a battle game, like a war game, or?
Kinda.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a weird game. I don't know. I don't get into it. He plays it.
I've never heard another game talked about as much as Fortnite. And maybe there has been, but everybody talks about Fortnite. Everybody plays Fortnite.
Well, that's the way it was when World of Warcraft came out. When World of Warcraft came out, and it was like the first one that was kind of like that, it was the same kind of thing where it was like something wow, right? And then now it's Fortnite. Well, Minecraft was kind of like that too.
Yeah.
You hear about Patch, his channels. I talked to him, Andrew, but I haven't talked to him since the other day.
Helen said every time she hears the game Fortnite, she hears Fartnite. I swear.
I downloaded it. I just haven't played it.
That would be it if you were in the UK, because you would say Fortnite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite.
I've heard people in Australia say Fortnite instead of 2 weeks. I don't remember who it was. Somebody said it, and I was like, "What's that mean?" And they said it meant 2 weeks. I had no idea. I thought it was like 2 years. I didn't know.
Metallic said she bought him one of those games, and it was like 129 for all the bells and whistles, and he beat it in like 2 days.
Hey, Mama 3.
Damn.
Hey, Deadpool.
Hey, Deadpool. That's a good name.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's amazing. But like children that are younger and into games. Like they have been playing games a lot earlier than we would ever have, you know?
Oh,
And she
yes.
said I
And
was
on
so
their
pissed.
phones. On
Mhm.
phones, too. Their
They're
parents'
so good at it.
phones. And, I mean, video games are everywhere for them.
Wait, see, Hondo's. Hang on. I seen his first one. I didn't see the second one.
Hondo.
Yeah, I said I heard that I talked to him, but I haven't talked to him since that day. I just thought you never heard. Okay, you have. Okay, thank you.
What Evelyn just said, kids often become oppositional because of poor self-esteem. They believe they can't do the task and get overwhelmed easily.
Mm.
Yeah, if you're already talking yourself out of it. One thing my mom had these little sayings she said to us all the time. Like if we said, I can't XYZ, she would say, whether you think you can, or whether you think you can't, you're right. So change that word. And we had to do it. And then we would have to do it, because we weren't allowed to say, I can't, blah, 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 without hearing that. She would say, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you'll be right. So change that word. And we would have to do whatever it was.
Wow. It's very true, though.
I can't do that. When she knew we were capable of it, obviously. Like, when I was like 3 feet tall, if I was trying to reach up in a cabinet and I couldn't get something, of course, I can't. But that would be applicable. She just never let it float if it was something she knew we could do. She'd never let it fly.
I love
So
Mario
we had
Kart.
to. And we would be successful generally. I mean,
blue shells are the best. Blue shells are the ones that get the person in the front and knock them out.
Blue shells.
On Mario Kart.
Oh, yes. I never did that.
It's fun. I love it.
Try to escape the fire flames.
What fire flames?
Evelyn, you are so right. We have to choose our battles and make sure to notice the small victories. That's true.
Okay, Mama 3.
Oh, Mama 3. Okay.
Hi, Mama 3.
Crystal sounds so depressed. I hope you feel better tomorrow, Crystal.
Thank you. I do too. I'm miserable.
What kind of antibiotic do they, like, how many times a day do you have to take it?
Twice.
It's not too bad. And you said they gave you something for nausea too, right?
They gave me Finegrin for the nauseousness. They gave me penicillin was my antibiotic, and I got Tramadol for my pain.
Because sometimes antibiotic will make you nauseous, so
yeah,
if it does, you have Finegrin.
That, and because where it's located, it keeps causing me to have migraines. And when they come, they come so quick and so painful that it's been making me get sick.
Migraines are horrible.
It's been a nightmare.
My mom was a 6th grade teacher. She said you can tell which kids were going to make it and who was not going to in life. She said 98% that didn't make it was from poor parenting. I definitely believe that.
One time my mom told me this story about this girl that she had in her 4th grade class. And the girl was coming to school dressed pretty inappropriately for 4th grade. And so she called the mom for a parent-teacher conference. And she was telling the woman the girl had come to class with a mini skirt on and no underwear. And she was bending over and giving the boys a show. And that, she was saying, this is more of a parental conversation, but she's wearing inappropriate clothes. And the mom's answer was, well, I don't really treat her like she's my daughter. We're more friends. than mother-daughter. I don't tell her what to do. And my mom was thinking, she needs a mother, not a friend. She has a whole classroom of friends. She needs a mother right now, not a friend. You know, so
Yeah.
the mother refused to have that kind of parental conversation where you say, you're not wearing that. You're not going to wear that. Even if it's your
Yes,
favorite.
Finnegan is a lifesaver. It's so good. Yeah, she definitely, and I'm sure that didn't get any better for her as she got older and that changed to more provocative stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, and there's that. There are some parents who take a completely different approach than most. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's not. Even the parents that I see that have tried really, really hard and stuff have ended up with kids that sometimes go through challenges. I mean, I know myself when I was in college, I was real all over the place. I wasn't serious about school. I wasn't one of those kids that buckled down and made sure I went to class all the time. When I was in college, I laid out most of the day. I didn't go to classes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I had my own issues about the growing up challenges.
I stopped maturing when I had my son at 16. No, bitch, that's not how it works. No.
Yes, whirlwind, tailspin, it's me. It's Sassy Cat.
Throwing everybody off.
Because it just says cat. Well, and it just says cat. So they're like, cat.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, Evelyn, I know exactly what you mean. She said, I don't necessarily think it's a poor parenting. I think many times it's a poor fit between parent and child. We can't parent all kids the same. I definitely know what you mean with that. I've seen people that would definitely apply to.
You know, I feel for parents of today too, because kids have such a access to information. Whereas when I was younger, my mom very much constructed what I was able to see and watch and encounter and stuff for the most part. Like there were certain movies I wasn't able to watch, and they weren't on TV because we didn't have that kind of access, you know? So
Metallic said, is that Sassy Cat on the panel? I didn't know that. Hey, girl, hey.
Hi, Metallic. It's 4:20, by the way.
Yeah, my family was the same way. I wasn't allowed to watch anything rated R, but I almost feel like that made it more like mysterious for me and made me want to do it more without them knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's that. And then you have the other way too, where if you don't give your kids access to information that maybe other kids have at a later level, they go to school, they can get exploited, they can get, they have to be made aware at the same time. I don't know. That's why I'm glad that it ended up that I didn't end up having children.
Do you get good at being sneaky? I did. It made me, because I wasn't allowed to like go out with friends at all, really. Like my dad was super, super, super strict. So what I did, I just went and stayed on night with my friend all the time, and she was allowed to do those things, and they let me stay on night with her. So it was really made no sense for them to be so strict when they were going to let me stay with somebody that wasn't. Bye, Deadpool. Enjoy your Jimmy Johns. I just say Steph looks like her usually lovely self. Sassy Cat is drop dead gorgeous, and Crystal looks goth tonight. Sorry, Crystal, you're usually stunning. I know. I hope she feels better.
She looks better than I do when I'm in pain like that. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Me too.
Thank you, Penny, for the compliment, by the way. But
right, spend the night with a friend. But like my friend was allowed to go out. She like had a curfew. We had to be home at like 12 or 1. It was a late curfew. She could pretty much do whatever she wanted. So all of that strictness was out the door because I was at her house all the time, every chance I got.
My mom always talked to the parents and they had to have matching rules, which really, okay, so like prom night, my junior prom, junior prom, first prom, I had the night where I didn't have a curfew, but my best friend had a curfew, but she and her boyfriend decided that that's the night that they were going to, you know, lose her virginity and stuff. And so they had a motel room and stuff. So she wanted to stay at my house. That way she could stay out all night. Well, my mom and her mom had a conversation and I ended up with a curfew, but it was 3:00. So my mom said, I gave a little bit, you didn't have a curfew if you want Jenna to stay here, then you guys have to be here by 3. That's the concession I made with her mother. Right.
Mhm.
Well, I came home early because I'd gone with this other guy that wasn't my boyfriend. And so I didn't care about staying out. So I came home early. She came in at 3:30 and my mom closed her bedroom door. She waited for her to come in. After 3:30, she turned around and went right back out, went over to the motel room, never came back. I told her to knock on my window and I'd let her in. She never came back. I wake up to my phone ringing in my room. I answer it and it's her mom saying,
Oh
let me
shit.
speak to her. And I have to say, I think real fast on my feet. I go, they left for breakfast. Everyone came back and picked her up and took her to breakfast. My mother comes through my door and says, you're going to call her mom back right now and tell her that didn't happen. Because I've been up since 5:30 this morning in the kitchen and she did not sneak out after that. So the girl got caught at the motel. It was this big thing. And she only got grounded from her car and her TV for a week. And because I lied to Jenny's mom, I was grounded for a month. Rotten deal. I'm just
Wow.
saying. Yeah, you didn't lie. My mom if lying was the biggest thing, like if you didn't tell the truth about something, oh boy.
Yeah, my dad never really caught me in, maybe like once or twice, but it took a lot for me to lie to him. I was scared of my dad. Holy shit, he was mean. He was a drill sergeant in the Army, and that voice he used on us as well, and it worked.
So it was all stern and like, duh, duh, like.
It's bad. It was bad, but hey, it worked. I was scared of him, even though I did what I wanted. When I went to my friend's house, I didn't. I never skipped school. I never, when I was at home, I did everything by the books because I was afraid to get in trouble. Always.
So, mom of 3 boys said, my boys are very curious and I talk to them about everything that is age appropriate. And I feel like talk to your kids about situations before they're actually put in that
I
situation and
agree.
can't handle it.
I agree. Like anything sex wise was never discussed in our household. None of that was ever talked about, and it absolutely should have been.
Oh, Rennie just said, okay, I'm back for 5 minutes, about to mow the lawn with my boy, and I have to bathe my guinea pig and then change my lounge around and then go to the basketball court. Busy, busy.
That sounds fun. I don't know about bathing the guinea pig part because I don't know about that, but the rest of it sounds fun. That's what we did during the day. Like whenever we didn't have anywhere else to go when we had no power, we just went to the park all day and we had fun. I mean, it was good. We had good days. It was just the not knowing when it was going to be back on. That's what sucked.
Well, and the inconvenience of normally having your life planned and then all of a sudden you can't do those things that you may have planned to do.
Yeah, and our refrigerator wasn't on. We had no Wi-Fi or TV with none of that. So yeah, I mean, it was a pain in the ass, but it was kind of like not too bad. We had fun. Could have been worse. Definitely could always be worse.
Metallic said, we always have age-appropriate discussions about everything. We really try to foster body confidence without impeding the rights and comfort of others. Yeah.
Fast food, yes, we ate fast food, and then we would go. We went to his aunt's house a lot because she only lives a few minutes down the road, not far. So that's where we would like charge our phones. So pretty much we kept our phones charged. And then we ate McDonald's, Mexican. Where else did we eat? Other places, fast food that we had. There was no other options. We ate at her house, whenever she was home. She had doctor's appointments, so we survived. But yes, we ate fast food, and we made hot dogs on the grill at the park.
Oh, that's fun though, an outside barbecue.
It was fun. I mean, we really did have fun, and even like being here at night, not having TV, not having phones, really, it was fun. It was like camping, kind of, sort of. It, even though it was a little hot, and it would have been better if the power had been back on, but it was kind of like something. It was fun. It wasn't bad. It could have been worse, like I said. And I'm more thankful now for everything that I have every day, because you take those things for granted until you don't have them anymore. That was the best part about having a girlfriend in high school. I was never given a hard time about sleeping over because we were friends. We never got in trouble. Hey, Shell.
That's true, huh, Shell? That would be true.
Sounds exhausting. What Rennie said or what I was saying. And that's another thing. I didn't have to like clean or do. And I discovered I love going to the laundromat. I didn't know that. Love it. It's so convenient. You could put all your clothes in the washer, get them out, put them in the tall baskets that they have, put them in the dryer, get them out, fold them, and you're done. It's great. Never had to sneak out. Oh, I haven't been bowling in forever. I would love to go bowling. We should do that. Maybe we'll do that.
I want to go and do the nighttime bowling where they have it all black light and stuff. I haven't done that in forever.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What about the noises?
Maybe I'll do that this week. The noises. Oh, the noises.
You have Penny blocked. Penny's been trying to get somebody to contact you.
Who, me?
Rennie. Rennie, do you have Penny cross block?
I was like, of course I don't. You got 2 strikes and 2 spares. That's really good.
Metallic said, my eldest son was accepted into a fine arts academy for the gifted when he was 3. He's too smart sometimes. With knowledge and understanding comes empathy. So needless to say, he feels everything. Oh, yes. Have you guys seen that the little boy who's crying about adopting the puppy? And he's like, we have to take it. It has to get a good home and stuff. He's like 3. He's sitting in his little car seat and he's just bawling. It's so, so cute. He's so feeling. He's like, we have to give him a home. It's like, oh, little boy.
Yeah, the nighttime bowling is really fun. I love it. I haven't been bowling in a long time, though.
What is it called?
Laundry mat for
Laser
years, but I
bowling?
knew a lady used to let me do laundry at her place, and her son had stolen a coin machine, so I had to pay quarters to use it.
That's funny. But probably really hard because I hate laundromats. And you always have to use laundromats. Like when I did, it wasn't when I was making a whole lot of money, and budgeting that money out per wash is different than just paying an electric bill.
It was a little more. I mean, it's not cheap at all, but I don't know. It's just because I guess their washer's bigger than mine, and I can fit a lot in there, and they have like big space. Like it's the one here in our town is really big and it's nice and it has like tons of room, and there was nobody there both times that I went here. There was nobody in there. I could charge my phone, listen to music, do whatever I wanted. It was I loved it.
Well, where I grew up, there were places that were really big laundromats like that with like sometimes they even had giant machines where they could do 3 loads at once or whatever. And there's a bar where you could gamble and drink at the same time.
I've never been gambling.
Yeah, I grew up with it. It's no
I want to
thing
go.
to me because I grew up in Nevada where it's legal. So there's,
Mhm.
in the grocery stores, there's slot machines. Like they're everywhere. It's not a thing. So to me, it's not like a exciting thing. But for people that it doesn't or haven't grown up with it, once they do it, they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much fun. I don't
They have
know.
internet
I'm not.
casinos here, but it's not the same. And I honestly think it's just not the same at all. It's like it's set up computers where you just play like slot machines on computers type thing, and then they pay out. It says on there what you do and you pay out, but it's totally not the same thing.
Well, it's crazy that you walk through this big, huge lobby and there's rows after rows of machines and there's people just sitting there staring and just hitting these buttons they just go for hours. Wow.
Yeah, gambling addiction it's a real thing, and it's a lot. It's hard. I couldn't
But
imagine, because
imagine,
I could imagine spending my money on that, but other people couldn't imagine spending their money the way that I used to. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can understand.
well, and there again, the casinos have conspiracies that they're doing against people. Most people don't understand, but like in casino management, you learn that, like, for instance, if you walk in a casino, the carpet will always be very chaotic, very kind of all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like different patterns. And then you'll notice that they have the lights around the top of the machines that go white or red, usually red, because red is a irritating color. It keeps people
Mm-hmm.
anxious. They have different sounds on the different machines because that's a constant irritant too. So your mind easily gets in an emotional place where it's irritated, right? And then you're more likely to make mistakes like chasing money, money after more, trying to get it back, getting an emotional place with the gambling instead of your rational mind being in charge. It's a whole
Mm.
science. That's why they have whole things that casino management, like we're going to teach you the decisions you have to make running a casino.
Ooh, that's so creepy. I know it's all
Oh,
business,
and
but
they
that's so creepy that they do that. So your brain reacts in a certain way that you don't even realize that you're doing.
Yeah,
How
and
creepy is
then they
that?
always have all the windows and doors tinted in such a way that you can't tell if it's day or night outside. And then they have no clock either, so that you easily lose track
Mm.
of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all specific. And then where they put the restaurants too, they'll organize certain machines or things near certain places of where people are eating, so that those are the bigger machines that you just drop $1 in or whatever on the way out, but it sucks the people into the
Oh,
rest of it. Kind of like, yeah.
that literally gives me chills, because here's the thing, like I said, gambling addiction is a real thing, and that's what
They're
it's like
feeding on it.
cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like pry on people's addiction in that way. That's crazy to me. It's
Yeah. I
it's a,
mean, they
it's a
don't
business
build,
though.
those casinos don't build thousands and thousands of rooms for people to stay there because they're losing money.
Oh, hell no. They're making, and they
Oh,
give you drinks.
huge.
Used to be cigarettes. I don't think they do that anymore,
Yeah,
probably, but
cigarettes not anymore, but you get to drink for free. They'll comp you some
heard about a
meals.
certain
Like
perv
you
being
can end
under a
up
different name in someone's chat. Has anyone else heard that also? No, Mama 3. Did anybody else see that? Crystal?
what?
Mm-mm. No.
It says,
What?
hey, did any of
What?
y'all see my post on Twitter about a certain perv being under a different name in someone's chat? Has anyone else heard that also? I don't know anything about that.
I heard a
I've been
perv in
hearing bits
chat
and
thing
pieces.
like a week ago.
Look at all the comps they give. And if people come there more and spend more money, then they treat them better and better, you know, like they want them to spend money there.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I had a friend who would brag all the time that he used to get suites and stuff comped down in Vegas when we would go and stuff like that. So we would stay in his suites and blah. But the thing is, he always thought it was, hey, they treat me so good, blah, blah, blah. He dropped so much money all the time. He was way paying for a suite. Like, if he would have just had even in what he dropped in one day, he could have paid for everything he got free easily.
But it's about the playing and the thinking you're going to win, and sometimes winning. But I would say most people lose on average more than they win. You know, casinos even have their games set up in certain places for certain reasons. That's so creepy to me.
Yeah, like
so
I said, like
creepy.
outside the restaurants will be set up in a certain way so that those are machines that are more likely to get that extra money from those people coming out of
Yes,
eating.
Mama 3. You could say it here.
Green AR right here.
Salty oysters, and not a cracker in sight. My hair is so tangly.
Aranda Power just said, Mom of 3, can I draw you, please?
That's Bob.
My ex used to get hotel rooms, food, smokes, all comped. Wow. And that, imagine how they do that for how many people? And they have how many employees, and they're making millions, I'm sure. If not more than that.
Well, and in Nevada, they have it negotiated that there's no lottery in Nevada. Like, they don't do lotto and stuff like that because the casinos have that. People gamble in the casinos. They don't do lotto because there is no lotto.
Wow. I know people personally that are addicted to buying the scratch off tickets. Like,
well, the thing is the casinos pay a lot of taxes. So they are responsible for a lot of money that Nevada gets as far as taxes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So when they say there's no state lottery, then, well, okay.
I'm glad you're back, Jenna. Really mature quote about getting along and progressing in a positive manner. Some of them are rigged. I'm sure they are. I think a lot of people, though, that go a lot know about the machines and how they work and which ones to go to and all that shit. Scratch tickets are terrible, terrible odds. I know people that spend a lot of their money on scratch off tickets. I'll say that. If not most of them.
Online is just as dangerous. I had that guy that I told you I worked with, and he started online gambling at work, and he ended up that he was so in the hole and so desperate for money, he became a bank robber and robbed 2 banks. And then we found out he had gotten arrested. Gambling, because he was gambling. He was first it was just recreational. Then he started doing it at work instead of selling where we make extra money commission. And he gambled instead. And then he was chasing money because for a while he was pretty successful, I think. But once he started chasing it, and then fear gripped him, obviously, and he was chasing, and making his decisions emotionally instead of rationally thinking, if I just focus on my sales, I'll have checks, I'll have them, he lost it. And then became so irrational that he thought the solution was robbing 2 banks. And they found the money in his living room in bags stacked around the living room. Come on now, really?
Wow. What's a table game? That's like where they play blackjack.
21. Yeah, like blackjack, 21 pie gal poker, roulette.
Oh, because they have like slot machines and then they have like table games.
Yeah.
If I ever do go, it'll be like slot machines. That's it. I can't do anything else.
I only do table games if I'm going to play.
Really?
I'll do 21. I'll play 21, yeah.
my cousin's ex-husband robbed banks for his, oh my God, how sad is that? And knowing that they know what they're doing to do this. That's crazy.
Wait, what happened? I didn't see the comment.
And Mimi said, my cousin's ex-husband robbed banks for his gambling addiction. He got caught and served 9 years.
Yeah. Like once that irrational mind, the addicted mind gets a hold of it, they are irrational and impulsive and emotionally driven and making these horrible choices, you know? It's true addiction, just like any addict.
Mama 3 says she wants everybody to know a certain ex-cop on Lucifer's chat is a certain captain. Okay.
Who's Lucifer?
Don't ask. The preacher. My foot's asleep.
Oh, I see. Okay. Her new name is Lucifer. That's so funny.
Thank you, Mama 3. Who else could it be?
Does she know yet?
Probably.
I'm sure.
Is that really like the community name or just Mama 3 said that? Because if that is, does she know yet that people call her that? I can't believe I missed a freak out. That's got to freak someone out bad.
It's an insult to Lucifer. True.
Beelzebub. We'll call her Beelzebub.
What were we talking about? Everything. Right. Just a minute ago, we were talking about casinos. Who knows?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's all over the place.
Somebody named her that a long time ago.
Then I showed up and my mom was getting married and begged her not to write confront of his wife. Can you read that one?
Yeah. Give me a It did come.
Sorry, y'all. I issued a disclaimer. This
Then he
is why
showed
I
up
can't
the day my mom was getting married and begged her not to write confront of his wife. Wait a minute. I'm not high. That doesn't make sense. Not just you, Metallic. What are you talking
Well, there was no guarantee stuff, so I had to ask.
We need to retype that, please, in English this time.
I think there's just an extra word in there. I think if she was saying it conversationally, we'd probably know. But reading it, it's not coming.
She said, no, too much for 20. Sorry, guys. Oh, I thought it was sassy, and I went to read it. I couldn't understand it either.
No, it's just that metallic is high too. So that's coming from metallic being high. That's funny.
Whew.
That's so funny.
Puff, puff, pass, bitch. Puff, puff, pass.
Oh, that was so funny. Oh, when the laughs will come.
The two stoners. And then I'm over here high on meds.
That's funny.
If you're high right now, put a 1 in the
Yeah, put a 1 in the chat.
I hate you all. Maybe one day soon in North Carolina. Keeping my fingers crossed.
Well, medicinally, I will tell you, this is what changed things for me when I was diagnosed with PTSD.
Dude, I'm so high, I DM'd the wrong person. Was it nudes? I hope it was nudes. Oh my God, that's great.
Okay, Matias Camacho said, LOL, I have no idea who y'all are, but y'all are hilarious. It is. It can be really funny here. Glad you
Welcome.
found us. It's random.
Jill said, not high, but I almost ugly drunk YouTube on the 3rd of July. Donna said, this is the sort of thing that starts world wars. I just see a woman about a flag. Oh, shit. Metallic just said, Crystal, your right ear is beautiful. I don't know about the left one. It wasn't nudes. Breaking news, it wasn't nudes. Okay, it wasn't her nudes.
Metallic said, Crystal, your right ear. Your right ear. Your right ear is just gorgeous.
No,
I feel like dog shit.
No, you don't.
oh, come here.
I look like I got smacked in the face with a frying pan.
You poor thing. Seriously, ouch.
I know that shit hurts like hell.
Yeah, your crease looks good though, girl.
Jill said, oh no, I was told to get it together and get off fast. I did. A bit too much fun. There's never too much fun.
Oh, Shell said that the 3rd for her family is like Christmas. She said, oh, I was told to get it together and get off fast. I did, Jenna. The 3rd of my family is like Christmas Eve, so I had a bit too much fun.
Hate that I missed that.
I know. That sounds like that would have been funny.
Is that the screen name? Ex-cop? Because I don't watch her like that. So I don't know the screen name.
I don't at all, so I wouldn't be able to tell. Metallic said, my glass is broken. I had to nail glue them back together, so now I'm really white trash, Crystal, huh?
Oh my god. I had to do that on a live stream. I sat on my glasses and broke them and then had to sit there and glue them with nail glue.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked, but I could never close that one, like, leg to my glasses. And then I lost my glasses altogether, so I don't know where they're at.
Somebody DM me that name, just so I know if for future reference.
Well, and let me know too, because when
Hey,
I am
Laura.
clear-headed enough to mod, I should know.
Right. She said when I am clear-headed enough. Once a week on Tuesdays.
If it's raining.
Yes,
At 12 a.m. Oh,
so funny.
Hey, at least you have press-on nail glue. I don't even have that.
That is, nail glue is really sometimes better than any super
You're doing
glue.
better than me.
Yeah. Jill said it wasn't funny. I just kept saying I was too drunk to care about YouTube or the drama. LOL. I almost spoke my mind. LOL. And so that's what I would say too, though, is I would be like, I don't care. This is all dumb. Like.
Jenna said it could have been white cock.
Oh my goodness.
Or listen, you guys, watch Bob's Army. He said I always end up having 3 very enthusiast people watching my little streams. If anybody wants to be number 4, you're free to join. Thumbnail is dressed like a cop. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's check my messages and see if anybody sent it to me.
Okay, Bob, I subscribed. I don't know how I wasn't subscribed to you before, but I just did.
What the fuck is a joke? Okay, Mama 3. She said, let me look. Be right back.
Metallic just said, I'm listening to you guys. I'm listening to you guys and eavesdropping. Yeah, all right. I'm listening to you eavesdropping on my hubby's phone call. And now I'm accidentally saying my responses to you guys out loud. He's like, what is this conversation you're having?
Bob is a Disney thief. He is a Disney thief. He got a strike for playing Disney music. Is that what it was, Bob?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys. Aunt Mimi just said to IBL, MB was flirting with that guy. Oh my gosh, really? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was going to say, if it's a guy in her chat, she generally is very welcoming to the guys.
I think she's disrespectful to men.
I don't know who the fuck posted that picture on Twitter this afternoon of that bitch's titties hanging out, but oh my God, that was the most horrific. Oh, it was an image I don't ever want to see again in my life. It was almost
Glad
worse
I
than
didn't see
Blue
that.
Waffle.
I didn't see it. I'm glad.
Me too.
I don't have that image burned into my brain. Sorry, Crystal.
Welcome,
That's
Log.
what I needed to see. Why
That
do I always
sucks.
see the nasty shit?
You can't unsee things like that. You know, that's the thing. You can't unsee things.
Oh, he got a strike because he was live streaming the Star Wars freaking Clone Wars. Apparently, YouTube didn't like that. Why were you doing that?
I know.
Which picture? Her tits are always out. Whose titties? No, you don't want to see these titties. MBs. Lucifer.
Well, you know, Lucifers, you know, there are people out there. There's someone for everyone. I mean, there are fetishes out there, but I'm not in that at all.
Mm-mm.
I have my own conspiracy theory to that one, but I'm going to keep quiet on it.
The one I apologized to earlier on Twitter. She said, if it's bad, I don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Nope.
Something you'll never be able to not see again.
Where's that make it at?
Donna said, Shells, whose titties? Are you drunk? Who else? Who else shows their titties?
You know, I haven't been around. Basically, you know, the last live stream that you had where I was talking in it, and MFW came in and we were all in it, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the last stream that I basically saw. I mean, I've been out and about, and I've had a couple of dates and going to the river. So
I didn't see
MB. Is it the same thing? Probably. I mean, it's a week later, and it's probably the same with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. Of course. Always, always. Jill said, no, not tonight. Okay, I'm going to hop off here.
Bob, a rat bit my son when he was 1, and the next day the rat was dead.
Wow.
Oh, no. Log, I still want to win that board for my 11-year-old. What? Oh, I think that's private, like between them.
Well, I'm about to go lay down. I'm tired, and I am going to get good night's sleep tonight with the air conditioner.
Well, thank you for having me. Crystal, I really hope you feel better.
I do too.
I hope you can rest.
Get some rest. You probably won't be able to, but take your medicine.
I hope you feel much, much better in the next
And we can't hear.
12 hours.
It's 12:30 a.m. for me.
Yes,
She said lame. I know, I'm tired. I've had a long week. But now I got my power
good
back.
night, you all.
Live streaming. She said, no, it isn't. It is here. I love you guys.
Oh, wait, Steph. Mama's big boy said no, he is doing a giveaway. Who's doing a giveaway?
Wog.
Do we want to
subscribe? I don't know why that made my thing, my thumbnail. I subscribed. Oh, he plays guitar.
I did too. Yeah. Okay, good. That'll be nice.
Cool. If you guys want to hear some music, subscribe to West Coast Wog. Wog, I'm Wog. There you go. Right there. Subscribe.
And good night, all. And good night, Crystal. Hope you feel better. We can't hear you.
Okay. Oh, she said it's Jimmy Richards is the guy that may be captain. Just so everybody knows, that's the name of the person. Thank you, Mama 3. Okay, good night, you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow, I'm sure. I don't know what's going on, but now I have power. I'll be back.
I'll look for you.
Bye, guys.
Night. Bye.
Bye.